Presley Meyer, Jacob Blaine, Alan Thomas. State of Louisville Live, brought to you by Surfside.
Yes.
Let's go. Let's go. Can everybody see the Surfside down at the bottom of the screen? Mine is like a hologram or something on my end. I don't know. Yeah, Surfside, I mean.
Kind of floats. There you go. You got to put your cursor over it.
You got to put your cursor on the.
I don't think the audience.
Whatever. As long as the people can see it. That's all I care about. I just want people to hear about Surfside.
Yeah. It's such a chill logo, by the way.
Jacob, iced tea or lemonade guy? What do we got there? It looks like a lemonade. Guy.
Lemonade.
Do you just. So we have lots of different flavors. But I feel like lemonade iced tea, the combo, as Alan alluded to earlier, is the best.
Just gonna have this be my screen the whole episode, just with me still talking though.
I feel like I just need to keep looking. Like I want to move the can. I'm like trying to look around it, and I just can't do it.
It's not a bad idea for like
who is this Jacob Lane guy? He has the can the whole time.
What if there's like a lower budget movie that came like a documentary and they had to blur the face, but instead of blurring the face, somebody bought that time. You know, like Rick's bail bonds or something. Like throw it on there.
Yeah.
Like
Smart, dude.
This is the murder of Carmen Sandiego, brought to you by Surfside.
That's funny. What you know about Carmen Sandiego, Presley?
Oh gosh, that was big when I was a kid.
Really?
I feel like me and Jacob used to play that in computer lab. Computer lab.
Yeah. Miss Jackson, I believe, was the computer lab teacher's name at Lowe. Yes.
No,
and actually, fun fact, I remember Stefan LaForge's wife, Joy, I believe is her first name, was a substitute teacher for our computer lab teacher quite a few times when I was in elementary school.
You were probably freaking the frick out. Knowing you. Did you freak out? Did you get her autograph?
No, I was like 8, 9, 10, something like
that. All right, so real quickly, work your way backwards from 5th grade to 1st grade at Lowe Elementary. Can you name all your teachers? Go.
Oh God, nobody wants to hear that.
I know who your 5th grade was.
Miss Dickey.
Miss Dickey / Miss Travis.
4th grade was Miss Oberhausen.
Mm-hmm.
3rd grade was Miss Jennings. 2nd grade was Miss Miller. 1st grade Miss Reynolds. 1st grade Miss Cunningham. Or first
kindergarten.
Sorry, yeah.
First grade.
Miss Miller.
The 0.5 grade.
Yeah, everybody.
So
I
went
Miss Miller for sure.
So we went together. I went sequentially in 1st grade. I went to some other school in kindergarten. She didn't go here. That type of thing. Anyways, when
speaking of
1st grade, Reynolds, Mattingly, Jennings. No, wait, no. Reynolds. Who was Miss Miller? Reynolds, Miller.
Yeah.
Jennings, Mattingly.
It's got a Miss Miller in their life.
Travis.
Yeah, there you go.
I had one too. I had 2 Miss Millers. Actually.
You had 2. See? M squared in the building. Well, that's what the people came here for, is a recap of our elementary school teachers.
Yeah. Most people can't do that. Yeah. That was what I was trying to get to. That was a fact that I heard the other day.
Why we have 7 phone numbers or whatever in a phone numbers, because that's the max our brain can remember at one time. Isn't that how it goes? Something like that. Anyways, Louisville wins 87-78 in Indianapolis in front of a pretty large Indiana heavy crowd. Obviously,
you called that one. Yeah,
that's the appetizer to the main course tonight. Over at
something
Lucas
else
Oil.
Going on today.
The rodeo's in town over there. Yeah.
Indy 500 or something.
Yeah, they're driving Indy cars through downtown Indianapolis this weekend. They've got the whole street shut down. But Louisville wins, and I got a Cards chant in there. I heard it about the 2-minute mark. Fantastic.
We get in, bro.
Louisville fans, that's right. Cards get in, and Louisville gets another neutral court win. And it was a win that I saw Mike Rutherford tweeted that he wanted to beat Indiana by 20 because this was a game in which Louisville should have won by 20. And darn it, or I should say, darn it, damn Nick Dorn, man. I mean, come on. You got to have all 15 of your 15 points after not scoring last game. That's the most I'm playing against Louisville shit that exists, is I'm going to go off exclusively for no reason other than to keep you from 20-point victory. But it was fantastic to watch that. You guys, as I was watching this game, having produced the first show, J'Vonne Hadley, shout out to him. Presley was all over that one. And we'll get into game balls and MVP and all of that before we get out of here later on. But Presley, absolutely nailed the impact that J'Vonne Hadley had, and you almost felt like he felt that, like he knew going into it what he needed, and as soon as he got the milk check, he went to work almost every single time, if you know what I mean. And then
what do you mean?
Overall, man, the speed of this game early on in the first half, it was breakneck. They slowed down a couple of times throughout the game, but overall, Louisville tried to play at their tempo in this one. And again, when you look across the court, no disrespect to the guys that IU has, but when you have the guys that Louisville has athlete-wise, you say, all right, let's go. These guys cannot run with us. And this would have been a 25, 30-point blowout victory if not for Tucker DeVries getting every single foul called in America tonight across all of college basketball for him. Shout out to my man. He looks like Joe Ingles. That's who he plays like. It's all I can think about if you know Joe Ingles.
Yeah,
he does.
Yeah.
It's like the worst thing to ever to watch, but also you're like, damn, man. You could be like, I could see you at the Y later this afternoon, and you would probably look equally as good there as you did out here. Like your game,
like
somehow
his hairline's worse than his dad's for some reason.
Just
makes no sense at all. It makes no sense. Like, doesn't it supposed to go the other way?
Well, it comes from your mom's
Nobody
side.
would know. Nobody would know.
Yeah, not that wasn't your mom joke. Like it literally comes from one's mom's side.
Well, that kills my joke for sure. But yeah, no, like you were saying, he was getting all the calls. Not just him, but the other little guy that I never was his name Beat Right. What was his name?
Enright, Connor Enright.
Enright. Like that in the first half when there was a couple he flopped on. They were both moving pick calls, but that second one he literally ran into Sananda Fru's ass.
Yeah.
And flopped his head back. I mean, to me, like as a man, okay, you go back and watch that film. They're gonna watch that in the film room, and everybody's gonna be like, "What the fuck were you? How did you get a foul called right there? Like
he had a face full of crack, bro."
Enright can't handle the ass. That's what I heard. That's the rumor on the street, man. Enright can't handle the ass.
What I don't know what it is about neutral site games and Sananda Fru getting caught throwing ass. But it needs to stop.
Are out of town, a little, just slightly horned up, just slightly like that. I don't think you could do that. No, I thought I was going to see that later on down the street. You can't do that here. But yeah, that is hilarious. And I saw the tweet about the second time this season of Fru getting caught just having a little bit too much junk in the trunk, caked up on a Saturday for absolutely no reason other than to draw a foul at Gainbridge Fieldhouse in Indianapolis. That's all it exists for.
All of those off-season squats just to protect from breaking his tailbone on somebody's face.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Yeah, he will not be Rikishi to anyone today in Indianapolis. But overall for Louisville, you look at this game and you've got to be proud with what you saw coming back from the performance against Arkansas on Wednesday. And on the show Wednesday, Alan and I talked about quite a bit. Is this a one-night slip-up December loss on the road in a tough environment in a game against guys that just kind of roll the ball out and play, or is this more of a sign of you now had two teams that have really kind of pressed you defensively, come after you, blitz, the pick and roll, tried to make Mikel Brown make bad decisions. And for the most part, this team did do that on Wednesday night. But tonight, you come back and you play much more of your style of basketball. You get to play at the speed that you want. For the most part, outside of Sonny Fru, had four turnovers. Doesn't feel like it really had a huge impact on the game. For the most part, the team took care of the ball. They had some stepping on the line, having a pass slipped out of their hands, some oofs and goofs here and there. But for the most part, you thought that they bounced back and took care of the ball. And Alan, the first thing you said before we got on the show is that you were excited because you thought everyone was going to have a different perspective. My perspective, one of the things I hammered on Wednesday night was the lack of the performance from the bench. And this one, the bench was fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Now, most of that came from Kobe Rodgers, who had 12.7 in the first half. But between him and Sonny Fru, Ali Khalifa, those are the only guys that actually scored off the bench. Adrian Woolley, Kason Pryor, all of those guys tonight made much more of an impact in this game. And you made the announcers talk about your depth as the reason for being able to kind of withstand those punches that Indiana threw back at you. And I thought that, again, outside of a couple of hiccups with turnovers, Adrian Woolley didn't score, but damn it, was he rebounding the hell out of the ball? Was he pushing the ball on offense? Was he finding the right man? Was he getting into the lane and creating action for others? That was great to see them bounce back. And then Kobe Rodgers, double figures. Love when he is active and involved in this game. Last game felt like more of an anomaly with him than the trend that I think we'll see. So love to see him bounce back. Shout out to the bench tonight for getting much more involved in this one. Ali Khalifa hitting that 3 and then throwing a couple of absolute dimes that just kept this offense in rhythm, on pace. You know what you're going to not get from him, but you've got to make what you get from him outweigh what is the downside of his game, which is making him guard and making him be an inside post presence.
Yeah, Ali had 3 assists on the day. The 3, I think, was he 1 for 2 or 1 for 1? Just felt like, you could trust the ball in his hands a little bit more tonight. Mind you, the discrepancy in what we saw Wednesday night to tonight is not an ocean of talent difference, but definitely a little bit, hat tip to Arkansas and the guys and dudes they have on that team. Definitely a team that can go deep. We're not here to talk about them. As far as bench guys, right? When you mentioned Adrian Woolley, this is like another proud parent moment, because before the game we talked about the impact that we would need off the bench. Like, you had to do this by committee on the glass. We said we needed our guards to get involved on the glass. Adrian Woolley, this is another, kudos to this kid. He does this every 3 or 4 games. He'll have maybe 0 points, 2 points, 3 points, whatever. He'll have 5 to 7 rebounds when he does that. This kid cares about. This kid's a winner. No matter what he's doing, scoring wise. If he can't get in the lane, I saw him pass up a good shot to get a better shot. For me, it just clicks, and I just kind of sit back, and just nod my head at his performance when he's. These are all hustle plays, and this is a guy that we needed to hustle tonight to pull away and win by more than. I didn't think we'd win by more than 2 possessions. I said it pregame. I thought it'd be 88-84 in overtime. I thought it'd be a tightly contested game. To be pretty comfortable the whole game. It's the little things. So proud of those guys.
Wooley's had 4+ rebounds in 7 straight games, and only has had 4 rebounds in 2 of those games. So he has been somewhere in the 5 to 7 range every game. And one of the things that I love about him is there's possession where he stacks rebounds. He'll get an offensive rebound. Somebody will miss it. He'll get another offensive rebound, give them a second, third possession, and then you go from 1 to 4 rebounds just like that. And then, he gets a couple here and there. He's honestly probably the best rebounding guard we've had since Terry Rozier. The way he just gets after it, he has a knack for just finding the basketball. And I really would love to see his offense come alive, but I love that his game isn't rooted in needing offense to be successful. He is a plus-minus nightmare for teams. And I know he did have a couple of turnovers, a couple of fouls, but and no points, obviously. But his impact cannot be understated because of the way that he translates it to extra possessions, keeping the play moving, keeping rhythm in an offense, and then locking down an opposing team's other guards. Press, what was the big storyline or the big takeaway from you in this one?
I mean, I just think it was the efficiency of Louisville's offense and its ability to create points off of missed shots. I mean, I know that we've alluded to it a little bit, right? But being able to rebound against this team was a huge difference and distinction that you make when comparing it to the Arkansas game, right? Even the Kentucky game to an extent. For the first time this season, you saw a team that was probably pretty close to where you are talent-wise. I'd say Louisville's a little bit more talented, but overall they not only held their own but kind of dominated on the offensive boards. I thought that was a big deal. And then points per possession, 1.1 is considered elite. Louisville had 1.261 points per possession. So
wow.
I mean, if you average 1.26 points per possession, I think you'd have a pretty damn good chance of winning a national title.
Yeah, that's a juggernaut.
Yeah, that's pretty damn good. So when you put it into that perspective and forget about all the other weirdness that happened in this game, and that was kind of what we were leading with a little bit, but an 87-78 win is pretty damn good. Shout out palindromes.
Love a palindrome, man.
87-78 is one. You know what else is race car, and we got our score palindrome in a town that has lots of those. So
that's
something to think about.
What?
Race car?
What a sequence of events there.
Yeah.
Like, imagine if he was like throwing to a promo or something. That would have been
right. He's like,
incredible.
speaking of race car, did you know that tickets are on sale this weekend for the Kentucky Speedway? That would be, I mean, elite level advertising. Speaking of elite, when you talk about mental toughness and you talk about being able to withstand multiple instances of Indiana refusing to go away. We mentioned and talked about the impact of Tucker DeVries. Obviously, he led this game in scoring with 26 points, had 12 of those 26 points from the free throw line. He shot a game high, 13 free throws. And obviously, you know, a guy of that magnitude in terms of 6-year, 7th-year senior, he's been at multiple stops playing for his dad. He's got a green light. Obviously, is a damn good basketball player. We saw what he did at West Virginia. And I think that while his style is not, in my opinion, going to help them win the Big Ten. I just don't see them being that good of a team. The pieces around him are not good enough for them to win at that level. I do think he's still an all Big Ten player. And tonight you saw his ability to take over games, command games, and for Louisville to stay locked in, even when guys like, and I'll get ready, I'll own this here in a second, but like Mikel Brown Jr. not playing great defensively, possession, looking like a freshman at times. Obviously, there were instances where Alexis got into the paint. No one was around. No one's home. Easy putback dunk. But for the most part, Louisville was locked in. They stayed on their assignment. They did not fall for over rotations. Now, they did at times struggle to close out. You heard at one point, I don't remember who it was, but somebody said you can't close out with your hands in your pockets. There were instances of that. But for the most part, coming off of what we saw Wednesday, and then seeing the struggles from some of the players offensively, or not really getting the opportunity. I shouldn't even say struggles, but the game kind of going in Ryan Conwell's way, going in Sonny Fru's way. Guys stayed locked in, and I thought that was the difference tonight. And, you know, give Nick Dorn his flowers for how he shot the ball late in this one, but, you know, that's 5 threes right there that really, 4 threes really late in the game that gave Indiana a lot of points. And then, you know, to the comment here in the chat room, this was how Indiana stacked points late too, was the refs just continue to call fouls. I mentioned DeVries, 14 free throws attempted. But shout out to Louisville, mental toughness tonight. That is a huge win for them. And that's Pat Kelsey for you, man. Next day, next lift, get after whatever the next thing is, move on. Because Wednesday night, while you only lost by 9, it wasn't your best performance and maybe one of the worst games you played this year, probably. As crazy as it sounds, but tonight this was, I don't want to say championship caliber effort or performance, but you looked like a team that understands, okay, we weren't at our best, time to get back in the lab, time to get to work, let's go figure it out. And even possession to possession, you saw them stay with it, stick together and continue to fight in the game, and ultimately you walk away winning with the margin that you do.
Yep. I was just going to say really quickly, one other thing I wanted to point out was Louisville was kind of able to take advantage of it being a pretty closely called game, which this is another topic for probably another day, but just overall, the officiating would not be like that in the postseason. You would not see a game called that tightly, and I think that's kind of what kept IU around for the vast majority of the game. They were rewarded for flopping, which is supposed to be a technical. Just a lot of things happened that that just didn't make a lot of sense. But regardless, Louisville took advantage of that by getting to the line a lot in the second half, and they made every damn free throw in the second half. 17 out of 17. That's what you got to see in a championship caliber team. You know, IU hanging around trying to stick with it. Louisville just staved that off by literally just getting to the line and then making every free throw they took, which is not something that's happened at all in Pat Kelsey's tenure. There was one streak I remember Louisville hit like 24 in a row, but that was, I don't remember what 2 games that was in between. Anyways, go ahead, Alan. Sorry.
Yeah, no, and I can kind of go into what you were saying. I mean, like, I think we said on the pod before, I think I've mentioned it on the pod before, that like referees, like, you know, they are groups just like we're all in groups of, you know, if you're in marketing, what you know, profession are you in? I'm in retail, grocery. Like, I'm on Zoom calls, I'm in emails and stuff like that. So are these guys. So like when it comes time for postseason play, March Madness, you know, like there's going to be different set. They're not just going to be like, whatever you were doing, just keep doing it. Like, they're going to get together and be like, we have what we consider to be the best of the best. Like, here's what we're looking for. call it this way, like we really want to harp on this, like whatever it is. Like there's always going to be something that comes up on a Zoom where they're like, or in an email where they're like, hey, pay attention to this, or we want to stop this. Here's something that the high ups are complaining about. It's all like, it's just like any other job. But I kind of want to talk about like my, I guess, unsung or what have you. And actually, it's not really unsung. He had 12 and 7, but it's not just him. I think our bigs, and I'll include Hadley in this, like the bigs by committee is one thing that I did not anticipate. I really wanted the guards to come together, crash the boards, and be effective in that way. But I think the bigs, like, I don't know if we count deflections on this team. Like, I don't know if Pat Kelsey is a deflections coach, but man, do we deflect the ball a lot. And a lot of it comes from our bigs. I think Casey Pryor probably had 2 or 3. It was really nice to see him. He got that block and then flexed. Like, we hadn't seen that yet this year. That, like, warmed my heart because the last time I think we saw him have a full game was against the DeVries. So that was kind of a weird full circle thing. But Fru, I mean, Hadley and Fru had Reed Bailey and the other, is his name Sicily or Sicily?
Yes.
Sicily?
Trent Sisley, yes.
Yeah, they had them. Those 2 guys had them in absolute hell today, and I did not anticipate that at all. They had Sicily in a straitjacket even, and I think I have it here that Bailey had 7 and 4. I don't think Sicily was very effective. I don't have his stats in front of me, but he was. I pictured both of those guys to maybe combine for like 8 to 10 rebounds together, and they combined for 5. Those are your bigs. I know they got rebounding from other places, but that hats off to just like our bigs really stepped up. Sananda Fru looks more and more like a pro every week, and he's being forced into that role like hard, and I think he's stepping up to it. So really proud of our bigs today. Shout out to them.
Yeah, I need Sonny Fru to come out to walk a flock and no hands, and just it's all that ass in your jeans replayed over and over again while he warms up. Here, I'm gonna see if I can just real quick. I don't know how this is gonna cross, but I just
all you need.
Just over and over again. Ready? The new bad signal for Sonny Fru. Just the fat ass signal. I saw some of the best replies of the season and the mentions on that one. But no, Fru was fantastic tonight. One guy I will say, again, kind of disappearing. We talked about the bench. We talked about their performance. Not a lot of minuses tonight in the plus minus side of things. But can I Roots? Roots? Did we establish that? Is that what they said? Did you say silent H?
Yeah.
Is this new? Is this like when we learned that his name was Kristen Cunningham and not Christian, like midway through the season? That's what it feels like. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
It's certainly not a Mikel situation. Remember when we were Mikel for one game and then we went back to Malik?
That's right.
But no, yes, it's Roots, and then what's the other one? There's another one on the team that everybody says wrong. Or at least I say wrong.
Is it J'Vonne or just like I've heard his name pronounced completely different in time to time, and I'm like
maybe in France.
Yeah. Right.
You just said it like you were from Europe.
I added a little white accent on top of it.
So I'm just like goofing around the house, like playing with the dog while I'm watching the game or whatever, and then I kept like yelling at Fru in what I thought was a German accent, and I was like, "Shit, this is Russian." Like I'm just saying.
Your dog probably just loved the accent because don't dogs have like a they
like respond better to Russian accents?
Yeah,
or
something? German. Yeah. I thought it was German, but anyways, can I Roots tonight? -6 in the plus minus. I only played 8 minutes. And this one, he did have 3 rebounds, but fouled. Never really looked like he was in control. When he was dribbling, all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, your arms and legs are way too long. How do you dribble to begin with? Like, it's just noodly. It just seemed like the game wasn't there for him tonight. I think Pat played accordingly. Casey Pryor, also a minus in the stat sheet, but he had that nice block. Casey Pryor still just like, I feel like this is a situation where it's your last year and you'll sacrifice being out there for 6 minutes, even if it's not your best 6 minutes, just to say that you played and that you were able to go and give it what you had. Honestly, like it wouldn't have. It really. I think like at some point in mid to early February, mid to late January, early February is when we will start to see Casey Pryor look more like himself. But tonight did contribute a little bit off the bench with the blocks defensively, always trying to put his elbow into somebody's chest, like always. No, he's looking for somebody to have a problem with him, and I love it. Like if that's the role you play for 6 minutes a game, go for it. But you guys mentioned Roots before the game. It just, I don't know what's happened. I don't know if it's not been able to find a role. I don't know if it's Pat asking for things that aren't within his wheelhouse. I really don't get it. It just seems like he's kind of not in the moment, not able to really find where he's supposed to be on the floor and how he's supposed to make an impact.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I was just going to say
go ahead.
very quickly to add to that. I mean, I think that Kenai, like he's the kind of the missing piece here, right? Like, I mean, if you just look across the roster today, again, getting 30 plus minutes out of Sananda Fru is why you dominated this game so thoroughly, right? If you had to spend extended periods of time with Allie in the game, or extended periods of time, potentially with Kaysen in the game, I just think it goes a lot differently, and all of that is to say that I think Kenai's where his strengths lie are very similar to where Sananda's lie. And so, like, I think that he could play well as this kind of second option as a big man at times, right?
Yeah.
And I think there's maybe better ways they could use him in this offense, because he can be a guy where the ball stops. And when you're playing well, you don't want that to come in off the bench. I think Ali Khalifa getting 6 minutes tonight to that point is very indicative of what the coaching staff is kind of thinking. Ali's it's to the point now where teams are able to scout him and what he looks like in this offense. I think people initially early on thought, okay, well, he completely transformed his body. He could be a completely different type of player, and comes out. And I mean, I think it's underwhelming when Louisville's on the defensive end, to the point where it's almost worth Louisville maybe changing up the way that they play defense when Ali's in the game. I think that's kind of where things are. So at this point, the way that they're running this offense, running it through Ali, if he's not making threes or getting a couple good passes into the lane, again, he's another person where the ball stops. That's not the case with Sananda, and so that's why I think going back to the whole Kenai situation, Kenai needs to be more what Sananda is. Yeah. I just don't know if that's how the staff envision him playing this season, but I think that might be the reality of it.
Yeah, I would disagree with you on Khalifa. I think it's not that the ball stops with him. It's that he gets the ball and he's looking to kind of set some screens with his body, look for somebody to come off of him and get open off of either a curl three, or be able to use that to get some leverage on a defender having to go around a bigger guy. Whereas I think Fru just naturally, once he does set screens, he does attack the basket more in a pick in the roll situation. He's not looking to pop out. He's not looking to then double screen or set another pick. He's flashing with his hand up, looking to get a dunk, looking to get a layup. I love that about him, and he's only going to get more comfortable in that. But I do tend to agree with you that I think Roots would be a very interesting 5 for limited minutes, because of the fact that he can push the ball, he can rebound, he is athletic, he can block shots. The challenge is for those type of minutes to play at that level of physicality, are you capable of handling that? Are you able to go up and battle with some of the bigger, the boozers of the ACC, the Darian Williams of the ACC tonight? Right. Sicily and isn't necessarily a super overwhelming player, but he's obviously a big guy with a lot of skill. Can Roots, even for 7 to 10 minutes, handle being able to kind of own those minutes? And I think that's what Pat's trying to figure out. And you have some games once you get past Tennessee, Memphis, you go into Montana, and you got a couple of games where you can kind of test more minutes out and maybe see if you can't find something for Roots. But at this point, as you're starting to trying to trim out rotations and figure out what your team is, all of your bigs are situational. Roots, Pryor, Khalifa, they're all situational. And that's a good thing, but it's also, when Fru gets kind of punched in the mouth like he did against Arkansas, who are you throwing in there? Like, who is the next guy? And I think that was the challenge. And maybe the answer was answered tonight, or the question was answered. Is it J'Vonne Hadley? Is Hadley a guy that you can also, like last year, give him a couple minutes at the 5 because he does rebound? He can do those little things. Alan, what do you think, man?
Yeah, I'm on the same page as you guys as far as Kenai goes. Like, when he gets the ball, there's a distrust that follows while I'm watching the game. There was one point where, the scouting report on him has to be, just vacuum pressure, like all up on him, all up in his grill, because they know he can't handle the ball that well. We've seen flashes of it this year, but there was one point where he got it in the mid-range area. And I know that it's like, if you watch his high school tape, it's kind of in his nature to take, like, take a couple dribbles and take that mid-range, but you're not going to do that on Pat Kelsey's team. So I think Pat was like, maybe the sell to him was like, we can get you high flying. And he did that a lot last year. Most of the best dunks we had last year were from either Kason Pryor or Kenai Ruth. Definitely a different look to this team for sure. But when he got it, and I forget who was on him in the moment. I want to say it might have been Reed Bailey, one of those guys, but just kind of clamped him up. And that's when I was like, for me, I was really rooting for him. No pun intended. I was rooting for him to like go to work and get a bucket, just for like his confidence, because I know it's lacking. And when you're an athlete like that and a scorer like that, and you were recruited to be a scorer, it's really tough to get your confidence on the defensive end. Yep. So with this guy, and he can shoot the ball too. That's fine. We've seen him go 1 for 1 in games. But so more often than not, it's 0 for 1 from 3, and then you never see him really come into the fold. So I think there's a way. We're still early in the season. What are we, 8-1 now? So haven't even started conference play. There's a way for him to find a role on the team. I just think it has to include shooting if you're going to be out there.
One more thought on Kenai, and then I have a question for you guys. As far as Kenai goes, I think that one thing that just listening back to how the staff has talked about him, how his teammates have talked about him, everything that we know about this guy, right? Kenai felt like he was under so much pressure last year as the only freshman on this team. He was the only player that was out there consistently that was not able to drink, right? And I mean, legally, right? So
the delivery on that was just great.
Yeah. Like I'm just like walking this through my head, like how bad does this actually sound? Right? Okay.
Yeah. And you're painting the picture that he's just like outside of like tap room, just like looking at the guys with his hands on the windows, like
exactly,
like a sad puppy dog.
But he worked very hard to be the guy that puts the napkin on the window and whatever it is. Yeah. So, and I think a huge thing with Kenai is this pressure has been on him to succeed, and he's applied more pressure to himself than anybody else. And I think the big focus for him last year, and it's bled into this year a lot, is just not effing up, right? Like not messing up has been. It seems like that's kind of what's hamstringing him a little bit in these games where it's a little bit closer and he's trying to play important minutes. His stat line in 8 minutes was 0 points on 0 for 0 shooting.
Yeah.
3 rebounds, an assist and a turnover in 8 minutes, right? So
fouls,
So again, going back to the whole, you just got to get better minutes out of him, and
the 2 fouls were kind of if I'm not mistaken, were kind of out of control fouls, like silly fouls, frustration fouls, if you will, where he's reaching or he's trying to go up and doesn't have a shot to block, but is trying to make a play. And you'll live with those, especially in a game when you win. But at the same time, that's where he's got to improve and make those minutes that he does get, the most meaningful 8 minutes that he can give, and play kind of with a similar mindset of a Kobe Rodgers or an Adrian Woolley, where you're just out there to do whatever it takes. Not saying that he's not, but you've got to own that and embrace that. And if it's rebounding, if it's blocking shots, if it's defending, if it's hitting threes, whatever it is, he's got to find something that he can just bring to the floor every single night. And we know energy has always been something that he does really well. So things like that will go a long way. If you guys are cool with it, I just want to take a look at the box score before we get to Press's question, because I do want to want to answer whatever that is. But just looking at this one, recapping it, Louisville shoots 46% from the field, Indiana 41%. So pretty even game in terms of shots. I'd say those shots were not created equal in how they were acquired and how they got them. Of course, especially when you look at Indiana's points coming a lot from the free throw line, 15 of 19 from free throw line, 24 of 28. Is that correct? 24 of 28 for Louisville and 15 of 19 for Indiana. That seems like that's backwards, but maybe those 19 were all just attempted by one damn player, and it feels like it was a lot more. But Louisville, one of the things that's important to note is Louisville did shoot their free throws really well on this one, especially late as Conwell and Mikel Brown Jr. kept going to the free throw line. 86% from the free throw line. And then the big difference for shooting the ball tonight, Louisville 13 of 31 from 3, 42% compared to IU's 32%. And Ryan Conwell looks like himself. Now, 3 of 7 isn't necessarily the best performance in the world. It's not going to knock your socks off, but certainly looked like in the flow of his offense. And then same with Isaac McNeely, who had a couple of really nice plays, man, the coming off the curls and things of that nature. What do you guys think of the 3-point shooting tonight from Louisville?
Yeah, I mean, I think
Isaac's,
that Man, you have the perfect delay where I jump in and we're just. Anyways, go ahead, Alan. You're up, Alan.
Yeah, I think that's all it is. It's like we're obviously in different places, not in the same studio, and there's just a slight delay. So you don't want the time gap. I was impressed with Isaac too. I thought he played a really poised game. He also had 3 rebounds. Isaac does this where before he even gets going in a game, he will have 2 to 4 rebounds. I'm pretty sure the rebounds that he had, I think one might have been a long rebound late in the game, but I want to say he had 2 rebounds before he really got going. But the one that I was really impressed with is after the other night, they had a lid on Isaac. His only 3, I think, against Arkansas was that curl that we talked about in post game, Jacob, the other day. That I think we might have talked about it today. But there was a curl that he came off of. In my opinion, you don't really take that shot unless you're Isaac McNeely with a lead or something, trying to blow something open. But we were down. He took it, drilled it. It was actually a great looking shot. And so I think like to have the fortitude, the mental fortitude, and the confidence. There was one time when Indiana was kind of like they were going after shots like flying past shooters today, so like as a shooter that can be either intimidating or if you're a controlled, disciplined team like Louisville is, and you just face Arkansas, who was a lot more athletic, wouldn't leave their feet for long jumps past the shooter. I don't know, it could throw you off a little bit. But there was one where Isaac got it in the corner and he started to shoot it. Me personally, I vocally said, shoot the ball. And he pump fake, sidestep, and nothing but net, dude. I mean, like, I think it was Wilkerson went flying out of bounds. Yeah, and I mean, so, like, yeah, as far as our shooters go today, Ryan has one of the weirdest, Matt Childress put it best. I think he called it his size up, like he sizes somebody up, where it's not really like this, like Mikel can get into his spot really, really easily. Ryan is just maybe a step or two at sizing the guy up. Can I get this shot over you or not? Isaac doesn't really have that luxury because he's not as athletic, not as savvy with his footwork. But that little shot fake right there, and that was the beginning of his day where I think he made. Did he have how many threes did he have? 3, 4. So
3 or 4,
hats off to him. And I think we showed how disciplined we can be as a shooting team after that 8 for 37 night against Arkansas. So once again, I mean, like all around, just great game. So
yeah, I mean, on the Isaac McNeely size up or not Isaac McNeely, excuse me, Ryan Conwell size up / step back. You could tell as a lefty, to me, like I think this is a guy that grew up idolizing James Harden. Like that's who. And I'm not saying that they're comparable in any way, but I'm just saying. That's his go-to. That's his favorite shot. That shot every single time hits the back of the rim. Like it's to me that is so much James Harden in that at least the way that he is able to do it, right? Like that's an NBA move. That is not that's polish you don't often see in college. And to go from as CBS dramatized and went on about like 4 times today. He wasn't recruited out of high school, so to be a guy now that's, I think wherever he ends up playing as a professional will do, pretty well for himself. That's pretty impressive, sure. And that repertoire as a shooter is why.
Yeah, and it's super important that you see the chemistry developing between him and Mikel Brown, and those guys are not necessarily competing to go find their shots. It's within the flow of the offense. Now, I will say Wednesday night, it felt like those two were the only two that was finding offense, and everyone was just watching them.
Yes.
And as Mikel couldn't find it, he's like, all right, Ryan, you try now. And neither really one of them could. Like, it was just,
multiple possessions where they're standing within like 4 feet of each other, and the other one's shooting a 3. And like, it didn't, it made no sense.
Yeah.
Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, so tonight it was just much better discipline with how in this game it was obvious that Ryan Conwell had it going on much more, had the ball in his hands, had a couple of those pull-ups, and then obviously now a lot of this was free throws late, but went to the free throw line and shot 11 free throws, so was attacking, constantly getting downhill, doing exactly what Louisville needed to do that they didn't do the other night versus settling for bad threes. Now, on the other hand, and again, last thing I'll say here from the box score before I hand it back over to you, Press, is, and I've got to eat some crow here, Mikel Brown Jr. in this one, very interesting game, especially coming off of what we saw the other night against Arkansas, where he didn't play well in the first half, Second, he has that dunk, and then in the second half, not until really late where he gets going and they go back and forth, him and Darius Acuff Jr., does he really find his rhythm. And this one, he really just never had much of anything going. His first bucket in the game did not come until the 5-minute mark of the second half, I believe. I made a note of this. Yeah, 5 minutes in the in the second half. No, in the second half. His first field goal came with 5 minutes and 45 seconds in the second half. It was that dunk. And then his first points of the game were the free throws at the 10-minute mark in the second half. So he went to the line, he scored 2 free throws, he came back, and right before that dunk, I texted you guys, Pat needs to sit him. He doesn't have it. Like, he just doesn't have it. And that is from, I watched the play before where the ball rolls to the corner after they pressure, I think it was Enright, the ball rolls to the corner. Brown kind of takes the play off. He's over with it. He loafs back to the ball.
Yeah.
Dorn runs to the corner, grabs the ball, pulls up a corner 3. They had not scored outside of the Tucker DeVries 2 free throws before that, but the previous 3-pointer, I'm not mistaken, Mikel got lost on back screens to Dorn and just kind of stopped defending at the end of the play. Now, look, in the grand scheme of things, those are 2 very small blips on the radar. But when you're not engaged offensively, he really wasn't providing a lot of value. Outside of maybe being a decoy, whereas Kobe Rodgers had been much more aggressive, was playing a little bit more in the flow of the offense. And what do they do coming out of that timeout? Pat's smarter than I. It's the reason why Pat's the coach of Louisville, and I host a podcast like a bunch of other white men that can't jump in America. And Pat draws up a play for Mikel Brown Jr. He takes the ball on a fake screen, goes inside, and absolutely crams on somebody. Or really nobody's around, but that's a business decision on their part. They saw what happened to Trevon Brazile. They're not trying to go to the locker room. But that play signified, one, Pat saying, okay, I see it. I got to get you back involved in this game. I've got to get you back engaged. And from that point on, he scores 2 more baskets. He throws a couple of assists late in the game, and you start to see him end in a way where it's like, okay, he didn't have a bad game. But a lot of that was in the final 5 minutes of this one where he really turned it on. And I think that dunk, that play call, was kind of Pat's way of saying, I see that you're not engaged. Let's do something to change that. And sure enough, that was an angry dunk, and it changed the way that Louisville kind of finished out that game. And then obviously, he had free throws and was staying aggressive. And in those moments, what I'll say, last thought. I know I'm being long-winded here. But in games where you're getting pressed, nobody enjoys being pressed, I would say. 98% of basketball players don't like it. It makes you speed up everything that you do. You see the court far less clearly. Obviously, you have to stay rooted and disciplined in your training of knowing that take the ball back where the guy came from. Throw it back to where his defender just was, where the defender came from. But in this game, as they pressed and as they got going and made the plays late, I just felt like this team just saw the floor so well and nothing fazed them. Like, they just constantly were in it, and part of that was because Mikel would run back to the ball every single time. Conwell and Mikel were not scared to go get the ball, knowing that all 4 of their guards that were in the game were pressing, trying to get steals, trying to make it a little bit closer and respectable at the end.
Yeah, I mean, great point. The delay, I counted to 4. I counted to 4,
That was
Alan.
a fast 4, man. That was like 1, 2, 3, 4. But it's hilarious to watch on my end. Go ahead, Presley. You get to go first on this one.
I'm not saying shit. I'm just gonna be like, I'm just gonna go like this next time Jacob gets done.
It's my turn.
Go ahead, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's my
Go
turn.
ahead, Press.
Yeah. Go ahead, Presley.
No, I was just gonna add, from the perspective of watching the relationship between Pat Kelsey and Mikel Brown, obviously we're not a program that's become accustomed to seeing guys like this, game in and game out, right? Like, I'm not watching West Virginia basketball, 40 games a year. But from my perspective, it's interesting watching the relationship because of Mikel's youth, right? And my initial thought, and your initial thought, Jacob, is, let's pull this guy out. Let's let Kobe Rodgers or a more veteran player finish it out. And his thought is, well, we have valuable basketball being played, and I'd rather him learn this lesson now than have to learn it in February.
That's right.
And I think that most coaches, at least coaches post this modern or pre this modern era, where you have a lot more on your plate than just managing a student athlete, right? You're managing professional players essentially. In this era, I feel like players have to be coached differently. I think if that's Rick Pitino, first of all, Mikel's not on the floor because Kobe Rodgers is playing 40 minutes a game. But I think the second thing is simply that I mean, a coach like a Pitino, Izzo, one of those would not give him this sort of leash. They would not let him learn in game at the risk of losing.
Yeah. Right.
And that's what he did. I know that's kind of just adding on to your point, Jacob.
But you're exactly right. He saw his best player is, and it doesn't matter at that point what age he is. His best player is disengaged, and not for a full game, but for a few plays. It makes an impact. If we don't do something now, it may change the outcome of this game. And I thought it was smart. Go to him there. I loved it. I just love how it's like I'm just like the non-basketball knower, take him out. Pat's like, I'm gonna play him even harder. Like, I mean, it's just it's perfect. All right, Press, you had a question for us.
Oh, yeah.
Let's get to that. Let's hit the main event read, and then let's move into our game balls, MVPs, and let's get out of here. I got to go to Light Up LaGrange this evening with the family. Shout out to Oldham County out here.
You didn't invite me?
Well, come on, man. It's like 10 minutes from your house. Come out.
I know. I was going to say, what the heck?
Come on out.
Anybody else out in LaGrange? Let's go. Let's get a beer at, I don't know where. I don't
freaking Gustavo's.
I was going to say, what's out there anymore?
I know, right? That's the go-to out there, or what?
Gustavo's, yeah. That's about it, man. Yeah. So, all right, go ahead.
I'll let y'all give some thought to this really fast, and then I'll talk about our friends over at Main Event. We've passed the quarter way through the season mark, right? Or we're at or just behind the quarter way season mark if you win all your games in the postseason. Thoughts on now, right where we are right now versus preseason expectations? Have we exceeded those expectations, met them, and as a kind of a second caveat, what if they've exceeded or not achieved your expectations, or why, right? Like, what's different than what you expected?
Yeah.
While you're thinking about that, quickly want to talk about our friends over at Main Event.
I was going to say, aren't you going to do a read?
That's right. Everyone stop what you're doing. This is a live read. Today's episode is brought to you by Main Event. If you're looking for the perfect spot to level up your weekend, Main Event has you covered. We're talking bowling, arcade games, laser tag, and food that's actually good. Not just I'm hungry good, but I'd come here just to eat good. Whether you're celebrating, competing, or just trying to get the kids out of the house, Main Event is the place where everyone gets to play. Grab your crew, book your lane, and make something fun happen. Visit your local Main Event or check them out online to play your next night out. Main Event, let's play. Those are our partners here at the State of Louisville Live. We will be doing multiple live shows out at Main Event this season off of Blanket Baker Parkway in the east end of Louisville. Main Event, food, games, fun.
Love it. I mean, you should.
You like that? I just ad-libbed that like last half. Did you like that? Did you like that? And I didn't say
Their parent company, if I'm not mistaken, is Dave & Buster's, and I think that's also their slogan. So congrats, you nailed it, man. It's like you saw that one coming.
Yeah, you guys eat, play, fun. Yeah, exactly.
Last thing on Main Event, I mentioned this on the show the other night, but they are in partnership with St. X ahead of I believe it is called the Main Event Classic, coming up, basketball tournament here in Louisville with a lot of damn good basketball schools across the country coming into play. But on Wednesday night this week, the 10th, Main Event is going to be hosting a community pep rally and spirit night with St. X from 5 to 9 p.m. The team will arrive at 6 p.m. Food, 20% of food, non-alcoholic beverages, and gameplay will benefit Donate Life America and St. X Basketball. And there will be signups to win Louisville basketball tickets. You'll get to meet and hang out with St. X's basketball team, which if you're a ball knower, you know what that means and the potential implications of who is on that team in the future. And there also will be a chance to win VIP tickets to the actual tournament coming up. As I mentioned, there's schools like Spire Academy coming in. There's schools from Davies County, Kentucky. You've got La Lumiere coming in from LaPorte, Indiana. So there's a lot of good, talented teams along with St. X, who is probably one of the favorites to win state, if not the favorite this year. So come on out Wednesday night to Main Event. We'll be there. Yes. We're not sure yet if we're going to be doing a show. We're going to figure that out over the next couple of days as we head into the weekend. We're a long week of basketball with no games here. But definitely head over there Wednesday night if you're interested in supporting some local events and, of course, supporting St. X basketball. So to answer your question, Press, I think Louisville is...
Just to restate, the question is, have we met or exceeded expectations so far?
Yeah,
Or
I would
not,
say
not met them. Sorry.
yes. Yeah. So I would say that where Louisville sits right now at 8-1, I would say that Louisville has very much played at what I expected them to play, regardless of what the record is at this point. They've taken care of mostly the bad teams. They've certainly been. They've struggled at times with certain types of teams. Obviously, we saw that with Cincinnati. Really, that being the only game until Arkansas. But overall, Louisville has not underachieved in any way, in my opinion. I think the one thing that's hurting them now is this lack of the schedule being what you thought it was. Cincinnati loses to Eastern Michigan. Kentucky doesn't have anything but a quad 4 victory at this point. They just had an embarrassing blowout in Nashville last night. That is overall not great for Louisville's schedule in this ducking the smoke conversation that Pat brought up in the offseason. But I still think that from Mikel Brown Jr. to Ryan Conwell to Sonny Fru to everyone has mostly played at what we thought they would or better for the most part. And if they haven't, there's small nuances to why that is. But at 9 games in, I think this team is right on where they should be. And I think that they're still very much a Final Four, Elite Eight caliber team.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. That's damn near my exact answer. If I had to script it out or GPT, AI it, that would be, I'd be like, just, exactly put it in my words, whatever he just said. Yeah. The only thing that I would say is that I would say this is where I think we were going to be. The only thing that I would kind of like poke at is the consistency part. I thought we would be a more consistent group. I thought Mikel would be, like I said, I'm not going to pick on anybody. Mikel's had a little slump lately, past couple games. I just think like across the board, we talked about specific players like Hadley. I think Fru has overachieved. Like it's just like there's an influx. Like I could go person by person. I thought Kason Pryor would be a little bit further along, right now. So like I could really go down the roster and be like overachieving, underachieving, right where I thought, overachieving, but overall, like you said, 8-1, you're 2 for 2 on your neutral games. That, honestly, in past years could have been a challenge for any coach just based on who they are and how storied these rivalries are. And yes, they are rivalries. And your arch rival. So basically all 3 of your rivals you've beat this year outside of the one coach that is kind of the program's rival. That's Calipari. And that's just maybe this is just a great Arkansas team that we're witnessing. So I would say they're right on par to answer your question, Prez.
I love both of those answers. Jacob, I think that you brought up a really good point that I'm now forgetting because I was looking at the Memphis basketball score.
Is it the schedule?
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, just,
Yeah,
But as things stand right now, Memphis is up 37-30. Is that expected?
No. Memphis has not been very good in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna dive into that here.
That was our
trap
game. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think you're well reasoned in that thought, that line of thought. But I mean, great points by both. I think very quickly, I think that after today, I feel much safer in saying that Sananda Fru is meeting my expectations. As far as there's definitely been some change and some development in his game. Alan's recording has stopped. It's no good.
Alan's got an incoming call apparently. I don't know if he's answering. He said call.
I did.
Okay.
Wait, who was it?
Me?
Yeah, I can hear you. And you're back.
It was my mom. It's okay. I'll call her back.
Okay.
Well, next time just put her on here.
We have a big family Christmas party tonight.
Yeah. Oh, dude, you should have gotten her on and seen what she thought her game ball was. And I hate to do this, guys, but we've got a 4-year-old waking up from a long nap, and he is getting ready to sound like an alarm if I don't get this out quickly. But I'm gonna go ahead and jump into the game ball and the MVP for me, and then I will hide myself on the broadcast, let you guys finish, and then I'll close shop down afterwards. But in this one, there's a number of ways. I thought Conwell played really well, but I'm going to go, and I hate to steal thunder because I think that that's probably where several of you all are going to go to, but I'm going to go with Sonny Fru. Obviously, I know that when you look at the box score and you see that he had, 12 points tonight and 7 rebounds, and then 5 turnovers, which typically 5 turnovers is not great tonight, but his impact, that dunk in the first half, driving the lane, I think tells you everything you need to know about him and his ability and how he is continuing to grow, to become more aggressive, to find his own on this team. And I think that there is a chance where he ends up being our third, and I don't think this is a hot take by any means, but our second or third best player on this team by the time the season's over in terms of impact on the floor. Obviously, that's with Mikel Brown Jr. and with Ryan Conwell already. He is the third to their big three, and I think as he gets more comfortable and he gets going, Louisville's ceiling becomes even higher. And I love tonight the attacking the glass. I love the dunk. I love the willingness to take open shots, and then of course, the physicality that comes with playing against, some of the Big Ten and guys in the Big Ten. They're not necessarily known for being athletes. They're more finesse and brute strength guys. And so I'll go with Sananda Fru tonight. Kudos to him. He played a hell of a game.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll just jump right into my game ball. I'm only giving this, honestly, to this guy because I know who Presley's going to pick for his, and I want to be fair. I like to share. I like everything to be fair for everybody. But I'm going to say this because a lot of people were loud, myself included, like at the water cooler on social media all week about this guy. Where has this guy been? Like, why haven't we seen the same kid that we saw last year? Like, where's our leader? He's been a leader, but like, where's his impact on the stat sheet? And that is J'Vonne Hadley. 14.6 rebounds. There's a couple times where he facilitated from the mid-range post. We haven't seen him do that this year. That was really nice to see. I think he remembers how DeVries was playing Chucky out high last year. I think he knew he was going to do that this year, especially since you got Ryan Conwell and Mikel Brown to kind of like nurture and take care of out there. So that was nice to see. And he proved a lot of haters wrong today, including me. So J'Vonne Hadley gets my game ball.
Yeah, I love that. And in the spirit of, this isn't an MVP, this is a game ball, right? Like, This is like college game day at 9:52 a.m. on a Sunday morning, okay? This is Mark Jackson giving out his game ball on throwback on college game day. Who was that? Mark Jackson and who else used to be on there? Oh, the old Notre Dame.
I have no idea.
A former Notre Dame. No, wait. Yeah, former Notre Dame coach. We're talking basketball.
Davies?
No.
Digger Phelps.
Nope. That's basketball. Did you say basketball? I meant football. I'm sorry. I don't know. What am I talking about? Lou Holtz. Jeez.
Yeah. I was like, I can name
my God.
coaches. Yeah.
I was gonna have a heart attack if I didn't remember this guy's name.
I know. Right?
No. Yeah. Anyways, that was the whole thing. Like, you couldn't just come out and give Lamar Jackson a game ball every game. Anyways, I guess you could. I don't know. That's not how I do game balls. Anyways, Roos. God bless it. Kobe Rodgers. I mean, it's got to be. Let's talk about Kobe Rodgers real fast. Like, I would give if Kobe Rodgers couldn't breathe, I'd give him my lungs. Like, I love this dude. I mean, like, I know it's become a running joke, right? Like, I always pick out guys that I just really like, but I mean, Kobe Rodgers,
this is deserved.
It's deserved, right? I mean, you just look across the stat line tonight. 12 points on 4 of 4 from the field, 2 of 2 from 3, right? Like, this is a guy you're not seeing pulling a lot. 2 for 2 from the free throw line, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, which it felt like more, like the way we're working the ball, only 1 turnover in 13 minutes, right? Like, he plays just the most efficient brand of basketball. And you just, I mean, you can't say enough great things about this guy. He is disruptive on defense. He is quick. He's elusive. He always just makes the right play. He makes the heady play within the flow of the offense. He's great at the little things, right? Like, multiple times every single game, you see the ball like nearing going out of bounds, or maybe like a player is going to take a swat at something at a free ball, and he's just so good at like giving a little tap back. Loves going the little, just the little details, just the little things where they just keep the flow of the game going. Yeah. Obviously, you can tell with all these players, right? Mikel and Ryan are the same way. I mean, hell, even Stony today, bringing the ball up the floor every once in a while. Kaysen bringing the ball up the floor every once in a while. These guys know how to push it, but they also, you can tell that they practice and play at this breakneck pace because of the way that just the little things that they're just so instinctive about. They're so reactive about loose balls. They're so good about getting the ball where it needs to be, even when it's not where it should have been, if that makes sense. But Kobe Rodgers, more than anybody else on the team, does that every single play, right? He is so polished, plays with his head up. He can get north and south just as efficiently as he can get east and west. I love that he plays ambidextrous, right? Like he's not agnostic to one side or he's agnostic to left or right hand, which makes him really difficult to guard. But he's also he plays within the flow of the offense so well, and he's so disruptive on defense. When he's in the game, the other team is automatically running their offense 3 or 4 feet back from where they would if Mikel was in the game, just because he just does the little things that impact the game just at such a high level, right? And not trying to just sit here and just wax poetic about this guy, but he doesn't get enough props. We don't talk about Kobe Rodgers enough. Like even, it took us till over an hour in to even start talking about him, right? Like that's he's just that kind of guy that you got to have on your team. It's great that you have a Mikel Brown, Ryan Conwell. It's almost like it almost feels like he's been here 3 years already. Kind of like he has that Chucky Hepburn effect to him, where if he has the ball in an important moment, you feel like he's going to make the shot. But you need that, right? You need somebody that's just going to come in and be a heady playmaker. Every championship team has somebody like this, and I'm really glad that Louisville has him on their side.
Yeah, and that's a great way to put a bow on the show because and I gave my game ball to J'Vonne Hadley because of all the loud shit that everybody was talking about him all week, and so
including me.
Me too, but the same can be said for Kobe and the bench players. That was a glaring stat the other night, is that the bench was not productive whatsoever. And so it's almost like Kobe takes things personally when he plays basketball. And kid is so well conditioned. Like to your point, he was the only bench player. The bench did really well. There's no knock on anybody, but he's the only bench player to be in double figures. I think we had 5 players in double figures. One of them happened to be Kobe Rodgers. So hats off to that kid. I think the hustle's shining through on his stat sheet. So yeah, I think that's a great way to wrap up. I'm actually didn't realize it was 5:45, but it's about the time that I need to start getting ready to head to this family party. We got
Let's
a big
go.
family Christmas party. It's like the redneck side, so it should be super fun.
Will there be 4-wheelers?
Oh, we might have a couple mullets. I don't know. Mostly everybody just kind of grows a mustache in my family. It's like if the mustache is there, like nobody really shaves that. And there's all variations of facial hair to go with it, obviously, but everybody has the mustache.
Everybody's got the stash. There's some kind of secret hidden in your family's upper lip, apparently.
Yeah. That's right.
Folks, we'll be back before Louisville faces Memphis next Saturday, but we just want to give a quick shout out, Surfside, main event, our sponsors. If you don't do anything else this weekend, go to main event and drink yourself a Surfside. Great game today. Palindrome dub, weird neutral site dub, but huge resume booster for the Cards. Love to see it. Great way to get your Saturday night started. Until next time, let's get out of here. Go Cards.
All right, baby.
And we'll see you soon.